Boom! The ground shook as Mama Nkechi's voice exploded through the bustling Lagos market. Listen, people! This story will save your lives, she roared, her eyes wild, her wrapper flapping like a flag in the wind. Traders froze, yam sellers dropped their knives, and even the goats stopped bleating. Everyone stared at the old woman who clutched a strange, glowing bead in her fist. Hear this tale, or doom will find you, she warned, her voice dropping to a hiss. 30 seconds in, and the market was hers. In the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, stories were currency. But Mama Nkechi's tale wasn't just any story, it was about a secret so big it could shake the heavens. Long ago, in the ancient Yoruba village of Oba-Ile, a young girl named Adesua found a bead in the forest. It glowed like moonlight and whispered secrets only she could hear. "Guard me," it said, "or the world will burn." Adesua, barely 16, swore to protect it. But the bead's power drew greedy eyes, kings, sorcerers, even gods. They hunted her, and Oba-Ile crumbled in their wake. Mama Nkechi's voice trembled as she spoke of Adesua's courage, her escape through snake-filled jungles, and her vow to hide the bead forever. "But the bead is here," Mama Nkechi shouted, holding it high. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Was this the same bead? Why was she telling this now? And what was the doom she feared? As the sun dipped, a shadow moved in the crowd, a man with eyes like coals, watching Mama Nkechi. Nobody saw him slip away, but Adesua's descendant, a quiet girl named Kioma, felt a chill. She didn't know it yet, but she was tied to the bead's fate. And the man? He wasn't human. What was the bead's secret? Why did Mama Nkechi risk everything to speak? And who, or what, was hunting it now? The market buzzed with questions, but one thing was clear. This story wasn't over. Kioma's heart pounded as she slipped through the Lagos market, her sandals slapping the dusty ground. Mama Nkechi's words echoed in her head. "The bead will save or destroy us all." Kioma, barely 17, didn't want trouble. She sold oranges to feed her sick mother, not to chase ancient secrets. But when Mama Nkechi collapsed, clutching the glowing bead, Kioma caught her, and the bead's whisper hit her like lightning. "Find the truth, Kioma," it hissed. Her world flipped upside down. Back home in their tiny shack, Kioma stared at the bead, now hidden in her pocket. It hummed, warm against her skin. Her mother, coughing on the mat, mumbled, "Adesua, my grandmother." Kioma froze. Was Mama Nkechi telling her story? Was Adesua her ancestor? The bead pulsed and Kioma's head spun with visions. Oba-Ile burning, Adesua running, and a shadowy figure laughing as stars fell. She gasped, dropping the bead. It rolled under the bed, but its voice lingered. "You're next." That night, the man with coal-black eyes appeared at her door. He smiled, too wide, too sharp. "Give me the bead, girl," he said, his voice like gravel. Chioma's blood went cold. How did he know? She lied, saying Mama Nkechi had it. But his eyes narrowed. "Liar," he growled, stepping closer. Then, her neighbor's dog barked, and the man vanished into the night. Kioma's hands shook. She wasn't safe. By morning, whispers spread. Mama Nkechi was missing. Kioma's got twisted. She had to find her. But where? The bead whispered again. "Go to Oba-Ile." Kioma didn't want to go. Oba-Ile was a ghost village. Cursed, they said. But the man's face haunted her, and her mother's fever worsened. She had no choice. Who was the man? What did the bead want? And why was Kioma, an ordinary girl, caught in this mess? As she packed a bag, a new question burned. Was the bead a gift or a trap? The bus to Oba-Ile rattled like a tin can, and Kioma gripped the bead tight in her pocket. Lagos faded behind her, swallowed by dusty roads and thick forests. "You're crazy," her friend Tunde had said when she told him her plan. "Oba-Ile is cursed. Nobody goes there." But Kioma couldn't stay. The man with coal-black eyes was out there, and Mama Nkechi's disappearance screamed danger. The bead's whispers grew louder. "Hurry, Kioma. Time's running out." The bus stopped at a crumbling village and Kioma stepped into Oba-Ile. The air felt heavy, like eyes were watching. Huts sagged, overgrown with vines, and the wind carried strange moans. She shivered but pressed on, following the bead's pull to an ancient shrine. There, carved on a stone, was Adeswa's name. Kyoma's breath caught. This was real. Her ancestor had been here. Suddenly, the ground shook. A voice boomed. "Who dares enter?" Kyoma spun, but nobody was there. The bead burned in her hand, and visions flooded her again. Adeswa facing a sorcerer, his face hidden in shadows. "Give me the bead or your village dies," he'd roared. Adeswa refused, and the sorcerer cursed Oba-Ile, trapping its spirits. Was that sorcerer still alive? Was he the man with coal-black eyes? Kyoma's thoughts snapped as footsteps crunched behind her. She hid behind the shrine, heart racing. It was Tunde. "You followed me?" she hissed. He grinned, sheepish. "Couldn't let you die alone." But before she could reply, a laugh echoed, cold, inhuman. The man with coal-black eyes stepped from the trees. "Clever girl," he said, his teeth glinting. "But the bead is mine." Kyoma bolted, Tunde behind her. But the forest seemed to twist, trapping them. The man's laughter grew closer. Then, bang! A hunter's gunshot rang out, and the man cursed, vanishing again. The hunter, an old man with scars, glared at Kyoma. "You brought trouble here," he growled. "That beats no blessing." Who was the hunter? Why did the man keep vanishing? And what was the bead hiding? Kyoma's fear grew, but so did her resolve. She had to know the truth. The hunter's name was Baba Yemi, and his scars told stories Kyoma didn't dare ask about. "That man's no man," he spat, leading her and Tunde to his hut in Oba-Ile's ruins. "He's a sorcerer, cursed to hunt the bead for centuries." Kyoma's mouth went dry. The bead in her pocket hummed, and she felt its weight like a stone. Baba Yemi's eyes narrowed. "You have it, don't you?" She nodded, too scared to lie. He sighed. "Then you're in deeper than you know." Baba Yemi told them the truth Mama Nkechi hadn't finished. Adeswa's bead wasn't just magic. It held a god's heart. Long ago, a Yoruba god, Ogun, hid his power in the bead to protect it from a traitor god, Esu. Esu's servant, the sorcerer, swore to steal it, and Adeswa's defiance cost Oba-Ile everything. "The sorcerer can't touch the bead," Baba Yemi said. "Only its guardian can give it freely. That's why he hunts you." Kyoma's head spun. She was the guardian. Her, a nobody. Tunde whispered, "We should destroy it." But Baba Yemi shook his head. "Destroy it and Ogun's power fades. The world needs it." Then he dropped the bomb. Mama Nkechi was alive, hidden in a cave, but the sorcerer was closing in. Kyoma's heart leaped. She had to save her. They set out at dusk, the bead guiding them. The cave was dark, dripping with water, and Mama Nkechi lay weak inside. "Kyoma," she croaked, "you're Adeswa's blood. Only you can end this." Before Kyoma could ask how, the sorcerer's laugh filled the cave. "Give it to me," he roared, his eyes glowing. Tunde threw a rock, buying time, but the sorcerer's magic pinned them. Then, twist! Baba Yemi lunged, chanting, and the sorcerer screamed, his form flickering. "Traitor!" the sorcerer howled. Baba Yemi wasn't just a hunter. He was Ogun's priest, guarding the bead's secret. But his chant faltered, and he fell, blood pooling. The sorcerer grinned. "Now, Kyoma, choose." What would Kyoma do? Was Baba Yemi dead? And where was the sorcerer's power coming from? The cave walls shook, and the bead burned brighter. Time was up. Kyoma's scream echoed in the cave as Baba Yemi's blood stained the ground. The sorcerer's eyes blazed, his hand outstretched. "The bead, girl," he snarled. Mama Nkechi clutched Kyoma's arm, whispering, "Don't give in." Tunde stood frozen, his rock useless now. The bead in Kyoma's pocket roared, its voice clear. "Choose, guardian." But choose what? Give it up and save her friends, or fight and risk everything? The sorcerer's magic tightened, squeezing Kyoma's chest. Visions flashed. Adeswa's death, Oba-Ile's curse, and a future where Esu ruled. Skies red with fire. But another vision came. Adeswa smiling, saying, "The bead's power is yours." Kyoma's eyes widened. The bead wasn't just Ogun's heart. It was a test. Only a true guardian could wield it. She tore the bead from her pocket. Its glow blinding. The sorcerer laughed, thinking she'd surrender. But Chioma shouted, "I choose Ogun!" Light exploded, and the sorcerer screamed as the bead's power burned him. His form twisted, revealing Esu's shadow behind him. "No!" Esu roared, vanishing with his servants. The cave went silent. Mama Nkechi gasped, her strength returning. Tunde helped Baba Yemi, who groaned, alive. The bead's glow faded, but its warmth stayed in Chioma's hand. "You've done it," Mama Nkechi said, tears falling. "You broke the curse." Baba Yemi nodded. "Oba-Ile's spirits are free now. You're the guardian Ogun chose." Back in Lagos, the market buzzed with Chioma's tale. She stood where Mama Nkechi once did, holding the bead. "Hear this," she said. "This story teaches us to face our fears, stand for what's right, and trust our hearts. Everyone should hear it because we're all guardians of something." The crowd cheered, hooked by her words, spreading the tale far. But the twist? Chioma felt the beads whisper one last time. Esu's not alone. Her smile faltered. Another enemy. She hid it, but her eyes sparkled. She was ready. Why should everyone hear this? Because it's about courage, choice, and secrets that bind us. Chioma's tale wasn't village's end, it was its hope.